Every day, millions of people waste hours doing this, scrolling, clicking, distracting themselves into mediocrity. But you're here because you want more. Here's the secret the top 1% won't tell you. The real advantage in life isn't talent. It's how fast you can learn. While others sleep on their potential, you can read one page, watch one lesson, ask one question, and start building unstoppable momentum. Because a person who learns just a little more every day will destroy the competition in the long run. So, if you're ready to rise above the noise, educate yourself every single day. And you won't just keep up, you'll stay years ahead of the crowd. Let's begin. 1. Why most people fall behind. Why do some people seem to grow, succeed, and thrive, while others stay stuck in the same place year after year? It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It comes down to habits, mindset, and hidden traps in modern life. In this video, we're going to break down the real reasons why most people fall behind and how you can avoid becoming one of them. The comfort trap. Let's start with the biggest trap of all, comfort. Modern life is ridiculously convenient. You can order food, get entertainment, and avoid effort, all from your couch. And that's the problem. Comfort feels good in the short term, but it kills growth. Growth happens in discomfort when you stretch your limits, when you take a risk, when you try, fail, and try again. Most people avoid these moments, and so they never grow. Meanwhile, those who succeed seek discomfort on purpose. They embrace challenges because they know that every uncomfortable moment is a stepping stone to something greater. Section 2, passive consumption. Most people don't learn, they consume. There's a difference. Binging TikToks, scrolling Instagram, watching videos, that's not learning. That's digital junk food. It feels satisfying, but it doesn't nourish your mind. Real learning is active. It's when you take notes, ask questions, pause, and reflect. It's when you apply what you've learned or explain it to someone else. If you want to get ahead, don't just consume, engage. Turn learning into a habit, not a hobby. Section 3, schooling versus education. Most people confuse being schooled with being educated. They graduate, get a diploma, and think they're done. But real education doesn't stop at graduation. It starts when you realize that no one's going to teach you what really matters. Schools teach you how to memorize. Self-education teaches you how to think. In a world that's changing faster than ever, your survival depends on your ability to keep learning long after school ends. The future belongs to the self-taught. Section 4, no clear vision. Let me ask you something. Do you know where you're going? Most people don't. They drift from day to day, letting life happen to them. But those who succeed have a vision. They know who they want to become, and they align their actions with that vision. Without a vision, life becomes reactive. You chase distractions. You follow trends. With a vision, life becomes intentional. You set goals. You learn with purpose. You move with direction. And direction is what separates movement from progress. Section 5, fear of failure. Here's a secret. Everyone's afraid of failing. The difference is successful people fail anyway. Most people never start because they're afraid they'll look stupid, or they wait for the perfect moment, which never comes. Perfectionism is just fear in disguise. The truth is, progress beats perfection. If you learn to fail forward, if you treat mistakes as feedback, you'll move faster than 99% of people who are still overthinking. Done is better than perfect, and starting is always better than waiting. Section 6, I don't have time. I don't have time. One of the most common excuses on the planet. But here's the truth. You do have time. You just spend it on things that don't matter. The average person spends 2 to 3 hours a day on social media. That's over 1,000 hours a year. What could you do with 1,000 hours? Learn a language. Start a business. Write a book. The most successful people aren't smarter. They're just more intentional with their time. Make learning a non-negotiable. Even 15 minutes a day adds up to massive growth. Section 7, the wrong environment. Finally, let's talk about environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by people who mock self-improvement, avoid learning, and settle for mediocrity, you will too. But if you spend time around people who are curious, disciplined, and growth-minded, you'll rise with them. And if you can't find them in real life, find them in books, in podcasts, in online communities. Build an environment that supports your evolution, not your stagnation. So let's recap. Most people fall behind because they chase comfort, consume passively, confuse schooling for education, lack vision, fear failure, waste time, and surround themselves with the wrong people. But not you, because now you're aware, and awareness is the first step toward transformation. If you want to keep learning, growing, and leveling up, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this. Don't just watch, act. The future belongs to the self-educated. 2. The power of self-education in the 21st century. What if I told you that a college degree is no longer your golden ticket? That today, you can become smarter, wealthier, and more successful than 99% of people without ever stepping into a classroom again. Welcome to the age of self-education. In this video, we're diving into why educating yourself is the single most powerful skill you can develop in the 21st century and how it can completely change your life. Section 1, the world has changed. Let's face it, the world has changed. We used to live in a time where education was locked behind gates. Only those with money, privilege, or access to elite institutions could get ahead. But now, you can learn from Harvard professors on YouTube. You can build skills in AI, coding, marketing, or investing from your bedroom. You can launch a business, design a website, or write a book without anyone's permission. The barriers are gone. The only question now is, will you take advantage of this freedom? Section 2, the collapse of gatekeepers. Traditional education used to be the gatekeeper to opportunity. Want a good job? You needed a degree. Want to be respected? You needed credentials. Want to learn advanced topics? You needed access. But thanks to the internet, all of that has collapsed. Now, your value isn't based on where you went to school. It's based on what you know, what you can do, and how fast you can learn. Platforms like Coursera, Skillshare, YouTube, and Substack are becoming the new classrooms. You no longer have to wait to be chosen. You can choose yourself. Section 3. Knowledge has been democratized. We live in a time when knowledge is truly democratized. Anyone, anywhere, with a smartphone and curiosity can learn how to invest, how to program, how to speak a new language, how to start a podcast. Learning is no longer restricted by geography, wealth, or age. You could be 15 in Lagos or 55 in Detroit. What matters is your initiative, not your location. The difference between the people who win and the people who fall behind? One group learns daily. The other just scrolls. Section 4. Employers want skills, not diplomas. Here's a little-known fact. Most companies don't care where you went to school anymore. What they really care about is, can you solve real problems? Can you communicate clearly? Can you adapt, learn quickly, and take ownership? Self-education gives you those skills. If you can build a portfolio of projects like websites, videos, apps, or written content, you're ahead of thousands of people with dusty degrees and no real-world experience. In today's job market, your work is your resume. Section 5. The creator economy rewards the self-taught, but it doesn't stop at jobs. We're now living in a creator economy where self-education can lead directly to income, freedom, and influence. Think about it. You can learn video editing and start a YouTube channel. You can learn storytelling and launch a podcast. You can learn design and create digital products. Platforms like Gumroad, Patreon, and Substack allow you to monetize your knowledge directly. You're not just learning to get a job. You're learning to build your own path. Section 6, the mindset shift. Self-education isn't just about information. It's a mindset. It's about taking responsibility for your growth. It's about saying, I may not know this yet, but I can learn it. It's about being curious, disciplined, and resourceful. And the best part? The more you learn, the easier learning becomes. Your brain gets sharper, your focus gets stronger, your confidence grows. It's a skill that compounds, just like money. Section 7, the self-taught advantage. People who educate themselves develop rare traits. Initiative, they don't wait, they act. Adaptability, they adjust fast when things change. Persistence, they keep going when others quit. These are the traits of the people who succeed in the 21st century, not the ones with the fanciest degrees, but the ones who never stop learning. The education system may have taught you how to pass tests, but it didn't teach you how to learn for life. That's your job now. And the good news? You have everything you need. So start reading, start watching, start building. Your future is in your hands. This is the age of the self-educated. Don't waste it. 3. How to build and use a second brain. In today's world, information is abundant, but attention is scarce. We're bombarded with content, insights, and ideas every day. And without a system to manage it, we forget most of what we learn. That's why you need a second brain, a trusted external system for capturing and organizing your thoughts, ideas, and knowledge. What is a second brain? A second brain is a digital system designed to help you store and retrieve knowledge outside your biological brain. It acts as your personal knowledge management system. This concept was popularized by Tiago Forte and is based on the idea that your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. By building a second brain, you can free up mental energy, remember more, and create faster. Why you need one? Every day, you come across ideas worth remembering. Quotes, book insights, videos, podcasts, conversations. But without a system, they vanish. A second brain ensures you don't lose valuable insights. You can easily find and apply knowledge later. Your mind stays clear and focused. Which tools to build your second brain? You can use any tool, but here are the most popular. Notion, flexible for organizing notes, links, databases. Obsidian, great for linking ideas to a network of notes. Evernote, classic tool for note-taking and syncing across devices. Rome Research, ideal for building a web of interconnected thoughts. Pick one tool and stick with it. Simplicity beats complexity. Another powerful method is the code workflow. Capture, save insights, quotes, links, and ideas as you encounter them. Organize, sort them using para or tags. Distill, highlight the most important parts. Express, use your notes to create something, videos, articles, projects. Remember, information becomes powerful when you use it. Building a second brain isn't just about tools. It's about habits. Review your notes weekly. Write summaries of what you read or watch. Revisit and remix ideas regularly. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day spent organizing or reviewing your second brain can compound into massive clarity over time. The real power of a second brain turns you from a passive consumer into an active creator. It allows you to think clearly, make connections between ideas, create content faster, reduce stress and information overload. It's like having an external hard drive for your mind, one that gets smarter with time. You already have a first brain. It's time to build your second. For applying knowledge from idea to execution, learning is just the beginning. True power comes from applying what you learn. You can read every book, watch every video, and take every course. But if you don't act on it, it's just intellectual entertainment. In this chapter, we'll explore how to bridge the gap between knowing and doing. The knowledge action gap. Most people are walking libraries. They consume tons of content, but haven't implemented any of it. This is called the knowledge action gap, the space between what you know and what you actually apply. Bridging that gap requires intention, experimentation, and courage. Why we resist execution. Execution feels risky. It exposes you to failure and judgment. That's why people stay in the learning phase. It's safer there. But real growth doesn't happen in theory. It happens in practice. Overcome this by shifting your mindset. Learning isn't complete until it's applied. Start small, start now. You don't need to overhaul your life to apply new knowledge. Start with micro actions. Apply one idea from a book you read today. Build a 1-minute version of your project. Test a new productivity hack this week. Action creates clarity. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Start with what you have. Build feedback loops. When you take action, you get feedback. That feedback helps you improve. This loop of action feedback adjustment is how you grow fast. Examples: publish your writing and see how people respond. Launch a small product and get user feedback. Teach what you learned and notice what sticks. The faster your feedback loop, the faster your improvement. The role of reflection. After taking action, pause and reflect. What worked? What didn't? What will you do differently? Reflection locks in lessons. It helps you turn experience into wisdom. Build real-world projects. Don't just take notes, build things. Read a book on creativity, make art, learn copywriting, write sales pages, study finance, create a budget system. Projects make your learning tangible. They create proof of your skills and deepen your understanding. Share your work publicly. One of the best ways to apply knowledge is to share it. Make videos, write threads, post lessons. When you teach or document your learning, you clarify your thinking and help others. Plus, sharing builds your reputation, attracts opportunities, and keeps you accountable. Final thoughts. Ideas are cheap. Execution is everything. Don't just collect knowledge, apply it. Even imperfect action beats perfect plans. 5. Teaching and sharing, the secret to retention. You probably heard this before. If you want to master something, teach it. But what if I told you this isn't just a cliche, it's neuroscience? In this video, I'll show you why teaching and sharing what you learn is the ultimate way to retain knowledge, develop mastery, and even grow your influence online. Section 1. The problem: forgetting what you learn. Let's be real. How many times have you watched a video, read a book, or taken an online course, only to forget 90% of it within a week? It's frustrating, right? You feel like you're learning, but it doesn't stick. That's because passive learning, just watching or listening, isn't enough. To truly understand and remember something, you have to engage with it. And the most powerful way to engage with knowledge is to teach it. Section 2. Why teaching works. Teaching is not just about helping others. It's one of the most effective ways to help yourself. This is known as the protege effect. Studies show when you learn something with the intention of teaching it, your brain goes into deeper processing mode. You focus more. You organize the information better. You create stronger memory pathways. In short, teaching turns short-term knowledge into long-term mastery. You're no longer just remembering, you're understanding. Section 3. How to start teaching, even if you're not an expert. Here's the good news. You don't need to be an expert to start teaching. All you need is to be one step ahead of someone else. That's it. You can teach what you learned yesterday. You can explain how you solved a problem today. Teaching isn't about having all the answers. It's about sharing your journey. And today, you can do that in dozens of ways. Write a blog post, record a short YouTube video, tweet a summary thread, create a slide deck, start a podcast or Instagram carousel. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to think out loud and document your growth. Section 4. Teaching deepens your understanding. Something magical happens when you try to explain an idea out loud. You suddenly realize what you don't understand. Teaching exposes your gaps. It forces you to wrestle with your knowledge and identify weak points. And once you find those gaps, you can fill them. That's how you move from surface-level understanding to true expertise. Think of it like building a house. Passive learning gives you the bricks. Teaching is what lays the foundation and cements them together. Section 5. Sharing builds confidence and authority. Teaching and sharing aren't just great for retention. They're also powerful for building confidence. the more you articulate your thoughts, the more you believe in your ability to learn, lead, and grow. And here's the bonus. When you consistently share what you're learning, you build authority. People begin to see you as someone they can trust, someone who's curious, knowledgeable, and helpful. Over time, this can open doors, job offers, speaking gigs, collaborations, loyal followers, and fans. You don't need 1 million followers. You just need consistency and authenticity. Section 6. The best ways to teach what you learn. So, how do you actually teach and share effectively? Here are a few proven formats you can start using today. 1. 60-second explainers. Pick one idea and explain in 1 minute, on camera, audio, or text. 2. Visual notes. Turn your learnings into visuals like mind maps or sketch notes. 3. Twitter threads or LinkedIn posts. Share a breakdown of what you just learned in 5 to 10 tweet length points. 4. YouTube shorts or Instagram reels. Film yourself summarizing a book, tool, or tip. Use quick cuts, keep it casual. 5. Blog or newsletter. Write a weekly what I learned update for your audience, or even just for yourself. Don't overthink it. Just start. The key is repetition. Section 7. The real goal. Turning input into output. The ultimate goal of learning is not just to collect information, it's to turn input into output. If you read 10 books but never share or use any of it, what's the point? But if you read one book and turn into a blog post, a podcast episode, and a new habit, that's power. That's progress. Teaching multiplies the value of everything you learn. It transforms you from a passive consumer into an active contributor. So here's your challenge. The next time you learn something cool, don't just file it away. Teach it, share it, talk about it, post your notes, make a video, tweet your takeaways. Because when you teach, you remember. When you share, you grow. And when you give your knowledge to the world, you get 10 times the clarity and confidence back. 6. Long-term thinking and knowledge compounding. The ultimate success formula. What if I told you the secret to outpacing 99% of people isn't talent, isn't luck, it's time. More specifically, how you think about time. Welcome to a world where long-term thinking and knowledge compounding quietly separate the exceptional from the average. In today's video, we'll dive deep into these two concepts, how they work, why they matter, and how you can start using them to build an unstoppable future. Section 1. The modern problem, the death of patience. We live in the age of speed. 30-second TikToks, 7-second ads, viral hacks, and instant dopamine hits. We're obsessed with shortcuts. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. The longer the horizon, the better the decisions. People overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Long-term thinking is rare, but it's also a superpower. Section 2. What is long-term thinking? Long-term thinking means making decisions not for who you are now, but for who you want to become in 5, 10, even 20 years. It's about playing the long game, delaying gratification, building assets that compound, skills, knowledge, relationships. Think of it like planting trees. No shade today, but a forest in 20 years. Section 3. Enter knowledge compounding. So what do you plan in this long game? The answer, knowledge. Knowledge compounds like interest. The more you learn, the easier it becomes to learn more. Naval Ravikant. Compounding isn't just for money. It applies to ideas, skills, habits, and every lesson you learn adds to your foundation. The effects are invisible at first, and then suddenly exponential. One book a month may seem small, but after 3 years, you've digested 36 perspectives, and they start connecting, layering, reinforcing each other. Section 4. Real-life examples of knowledge compounding. Let's look at some people who mastered this. Elon Musk. He taught himself rocket science, not with a degree, but with books, curiosity, and conversations. He combined physics, engineering, and AI to create a multi-industry empire. Each new skill fed the next. That's compounding. Oprah Winfrey, from poverty to power. Oprah became a learning machine. Her interviews became masterclasses in psychology, human behavior, and leadership. Her wisdom wasn't inherited. It was stacked, guest by guest, book by book. Benjamin Franklin, he left school at 10, taught himself through debate clubs, libraries, and experiments. He didn't just invent the lightning rod. He rewired the way people thought about personal growth. Section 5, why it works so powerfully. Let's break it down. 1. Exponential returns. Each concept you master becomes a building block. The more you know, the more you can connect. Learning physics makes you better at programming. Reading history sharpens your business intuition. Understanding psychology improves negotiation. 2. Better decision-making. Long-term thinkers make wiser decisions. They choose growth over comfort, depth over distraction. They don't ask, what gives me results today? They ask, what will pay dividends for the next 10 years? 3. Momentum. The more you learn, the easier it is to learn. You move faster because you already have mental models, like going from crawling to walking to flying. For why most people don't do it, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people won't think long-term because it's hard, it's boring. There's no applause, no instant reward. Worse, the early stages feel like nothing's happening. That's where 99% give up, and that's exactly why you'll stand out if you keep going. 5. How you can start today. Okay, so how do you actually apply this? Step 1, zoom out. Ask yourself, what do I want in 10 years? What skill, if I mastered it, would change everything? What book, if I understood it deeply, would elevate my thinking? Step 2, create a daily learning habit. Read 20 pages a day. Watch one educational video daily. Write down one insight from each. Small input, huge future. Step 3, track the compounding. Start a knowledge bank, a journal or app where you write what you learn each day. Review it every month. You'll be amazed how fast you grow. 6, the ultimate payoff. Now here's the part no one talks about. At first, the world won't notice, but one day, after years of invisible learning, something clicks. You'll make a connection others miss. You'll launch that product, write that book, win that opportunity. And people will say, you're so lucky. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It was compounded effort. It was years of long-term thinking finally paying off. The world may worship overnight success, but the real winners, they're playing a longer, deeper game. So today, plant the seeds. Read the book, write the journal, ask the question, because what you're building isn't just knowledge, it's momentum, and momentum is unstoppable. Think long, learn daily, win big. 7, people who educated themselves to success. What if I told you some of the world's most successful people never followed a traditional path? They didn't wait for degrees or permission. They educated themselves and changed the world. In this video, we explore 5 powerful case studies of individuals who master the art of self-education and use it to rise from ordinary to legendary. Let's dive in. 1. Elon Musk, multidisciplinary self-education. Elon Musk didn't have a background in rocket science when he founded SpaceX. In fact, he wasn't even an aerospace engineer. So how'd he do it? By teaching himself. Musk devoured textbooks like Rocket Propulsion Elements, grilled NASA engineers, and asked questions until he could match or surpass their expertise. But it didn't stop there. He applied the same self-learning approach to physics, to understand the core of reality, AI, to build smarter systems, energy systems, to revolutionize cars and solar power. Long-term thinking, Musk didn't just chase one industry. He connected the dots across multiple ones: energy, transport, space, creating a synergistic empire. Compounding knowledge made him unstoppable. Each field he mastered reinforced the others. Lesson: You don't need credentials. You need curiosity, commitment, and compounding. 2. Oprah Winfrey, lifelong curiosity and learning. Born into poverty, raised by a single mother, molested as a child, Oprah Winfrey's journey could have ended in tragedy, but instead, she turned it into transformation. From a young age, Oprah was a voracious reader. She immersed herself in philosophy, spirituality, psychology, often teaching herself what traditional systems never offered. As she rose in media, she never stopped learning. Each interview became a classroom. Each book, a doorway to deeper understanding. She didn't just host conversations. She absorbed wisdom. Long-term play, she built a brand around growth, healing, and self-mastery, and turned it into a billion-dollar empire. Compounding effect, her influence expanded with each lesson, conversation, and insight, not just in scale, but in depth. Lesson: your past doesn't define your future, but your desire to grow does. 3. Benjamin Franklin, the original self-educator. Benjamin Franklin, scientist, inventor, writer, diplomat, philosopher. But here's the twist. He dropped out of school at age 10. So, how did he become a polymath? By teaching himself. Franklin read every book he could find. He joined debate clubs, created reading groups, and even invented new ways to improve his memory and reasoning. He believed self-education was a foundation of personal power. Franklin went on to invent the lightning rod, revolutionize printing, found libraries and universities, helped draft the U.S. Constitution. His long-term thinking wasn't just personal, it was civic. He designed systems that outlasted his lifetime. Knowledge compounding? Absolutely. Science made him a better writer. Politics made him a better communicator. Philosophy made him a better innovator. Lesson: curiosity, consistency, and civic ambition can take you further than any diploma. 4. Arnold Schwarzenegger, knowledge and reinvention. Arnold Schwarzenegger is best known for his muscles, but his real strength, self-education and reinvention. Arnold arrived in America with a thick accent and little money. He taught himself English by watching TV and reading newspapers, real estate investing, buying apartment buildings in his 20s, acting, relentlessly training to become a Hollywood icon, politics, eventually becoming governor of California. His long-term thinking was radical. He didn't settle for success in one field. He planned decades ahead. Compounding effect, the discipline from bodybuilding gave him the mindset to master business. The fame from acting gave him the platform to enter politics. Lesson: never stop learning and never stop evolving. 5. Naval Ravikant, reading in philosophical depth. Naval Ravikant, tech investor, entrepreneur, philosopher of modern life. He didn't follow the crowd. He read, he questioned, he simplified. Naval is famous for saying, read what you love until you love to read. He educated himself across domains: philosophy, psychology, economics, technology, happiness. Instead of chasing quick wins, Naval focused on timeless principles and inner peace. His long-term play? To build wealth and wisdom, not just money. His compounding strategy? Every book, idea, and thought deepened his worldview, and now millions listen to him for clarity in a noisy world. Lesson: read deeply, think clearly, speak rarely, learn always. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. Remember, no one is going to hand you the keys to success. You have to educate yourself every single day. Read, watch, learn, question everything. The more you grow your mind, the further you'll go in life. If you got value from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs that push today. Stay curious, stay disciplined, and always stay one step ahead. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep winning.